رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله. There's an opening swear that I bear witness there's no God of worship but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is his messenger. And I greet you with a universal language of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Jummah Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. A blessed day. And a blessed day on Friday. Some, they wake up in the morning cast into a world full of mysticism, unsolvement, and problems. Then you have on the other half, or the other side of the hemisphere, are those that wake up in the consciousness of God, seeking the consciousness of God, seeking the continuation to solve matters of things that's in error with humanity as a whole. It solves errors of humanity as an individual, but solve errors of humanity as a whole. And I'm talking about those lustrous stars, those in the high heavens. And I really look at our religious leadership, spiritual leadership, from all avenues: Jewish, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism. I look those that's in the higher heavens, as he said, in the dimensions, the 7 dimensions. Those that sit in that cipher to discern, to come together with, from their perspectives, each perspective, but being a unison, being Tawheed, all the logic hitting up, and they all got the same course. They're all going for one goal. And Allah says that specifically in the Quran. He said, but each is the goal, but all is to return back to me. So no matter what you start off with, no matter what denominator you start off with, whether it's a 1, it's a 3, it's an odd number, even number, it's still going to be clipped asunder and being an even to come back to Allah. And as it says in the Christian scripture, it says they get the same thing. The ways seem righteous. It all come together for the good. The Quran says, good come to those that strive for the good. So the world is already set in order to support the nature of the man that Allah created. This title of the Jummah is the Quran is a light spectrum of the universe, and the universe is a revelation of the Quran. The Quran is a light spectrum of the universe, and the universe is a revelation of the Quran. And I start off in the Surah Al-Mulk, the dominion. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Blessed be he in whose hands is dominion, and he over all things have power. He who created death and life, that he may try which of you is best indeed, and he is the exalted in might, the often forgiven. He created the 7 heavens, one above another. No one of proportion would thou see in the creation of Allah most gracious, so turn thy vision again, seest thou any flaw. And right now, Allah is showing us the universe. The universe is a revelation of the Quran. Now, look at this time. During the time of Jahiliyyah, a lot of science, a lot of things were done in just rituals. They did it because it was a custom. Their fathers, they buried little girls because it was a custom, and according to tradition and ritual. So there was no logic. The Fajr, the sun haven't dawned yet. It didn't clip the darkness away. So here, Allah is showing us that the universe is giving us signs of things. The universe is giving us the revelation of the Quran. How is it doing that? What was the first thing that came to Prophet Muhammad? Read in the name of thy Lord who created man from a leech like clot. Now in another verse of the Quran, Allah says, go back to a time when man was not even a thing thought of. So he was not even in existence. So what was in existence? The universe. It was in this dark, and it was in this gaibi. We didn't understand it yet until Allah, in his attribute, he used the word LYC, until he encompassed the creation. He went and seen and chalked out things, and then it said he took that same creation and made man out of it. Hadith said that he took the creation and made man out of it. Now, they got the things that spooked out about it, taking mud and forming it like Zeus, blowing into pottery. No, we're talking about the root, the inspiration of the mind. Because the mind starts off as a mushy clay. It starts off as a mushy clay, or it starts off, as Allah say, as an insignificant creation. But then, once it's placed in this spot, because at first it's being caretaken. The mother, the womb is taking care of that child. Until it's time for that child to be pushed out again. So it come out that one heaven. So I call that the 7. See, it starts from the higher number and goes down. Because the higher number, once it gets to a higher number in a bar, you'll go over to a 0, then you go to a -10, 9, 8. So he starts from a higher number in the womb. Because you're in three fields of darkness. You're in 3 layers in the womb of the mother, in the embryo. But in their life, Allah is nurturing you. He said, I'm bringing the ear. I'm bringing the eyes. Now, we can look at the anatomy of the embryo. But let's look at it in the spiritual body. So what does those eyes represent? That heart represent? What does those senses represent in the spiritual body when it comes to revelation? Now, Allah wants us to see it physically, but look at it in the nature when you pull that fabric back and you look at it in the spiritual body. Where, okay, those eyes is in the revelation as being a river flowing underneath the garden. Provision. Allah said in the womb, when we're in the womb right now, I nurture you with my provision. I'm giving you provision. Then I'm giving you instructions that'll touch your ear for your curiosity. And me and the brother was talking about this outside, about the word cat. How cat is to the word curiosity. It's curiosity. But sometimes you don't want to be too much curious, because look at what happened with Moses and Khadir. You got to first wait, and Allah got to manifest it to you. Because sometimes we say we could go to the allegorical, but then the allegorical can lead you astray. So you got to ask Allah for the mercy. So here, the ear is being nurtured. Now what else? The hand. Allah said, I'm taking the hand, the complete hand, and I'm going to correct that, use that to correct the creation. The things that's out of order to be put into order. So our hands are used. And so we've been given something that connected with the Adam nature, the industrial nature, the nature where the man is going out, charting out his civilization. As Allah say, I gave to the taqwa to the bee. I gave the taqwa to the bee to place his home into the high hills. Now, he wasn't just talking about the bee, he was talking about man too. That I put everything in its nature. So what the universe is giving us is a light spectrum. The Quran is giving us a light spectrum of the universe. Those things in a whole, because universe means a whole. On a whole, I'm giving you the analogy of your nature that's in creation. And when I give you the analogy of your nature, something happens. It's like he said about the galaxy. It started out in the dark, then it dispersed. Now, scientists say the Big Bang. Allah said, get thee down from here with an image between another. But the word that's in the Arabic, the gush forth, the go out. You know, he's squishing you out. He's gushing you out. Right? Just like the galaxy. It started spreading and expanding. And he said that's what happens with the galaxy. It expands. That's the same way with the soul. The soul expands. Coming out of Surah 43, Ayat 2. And this is about the clarity, the light spectrum. And Allah, He inspire you. During this month, everything is supererogatory. Your deeds are supererogatory. Your prayers are supererogatory. Every prayer is hyphen more and more. And Allah give us this illustration where He says that the doors of heaven are open, which means that every opportunity or idea of the believer, what he seeks, will be manifested to him. The Quran says it. You reap what you sow. So what you are trying to apply is going to be soon manifested to you. Allah is a bountiful God. He gives and gives and gives without measure, without count. And he always see. He is the all-embracing. Like, it don't matter where you at. Whether you got the doctorate or you on the lowest of the low, Allah will come to you. He come to you. That's how strong his love and his outreach for you is. That's what really taqwa is. Taqwa is the extension of love. It's an extension because the bills to bring something in, an irrigation system, a bed, clothes, that's love. We say mercy, but that's love from Allah. You know, if you didn't have that and you did it in the street and you wear it like Alaska somewhere and you out there and you don't have nothing to put on, can you imagine us not having a provision to look at the animal and to chalk out the fabric and wool to protect ourselves with? That'll be hell. That'll be hell. But Allah said that the universe gave a light spectrum, gave clarity. It showed us things. 43:2. It says, this book, it says now, Wal Kitabu Mubin Bayan, clear, the book. But we know Ardi is a book. The earth is a book. So when he says by the book that make things clear, that book is really a manifestation of your soul. Your soul is a book. It is a kitab. But what's written on the soul, the inscription on the soul, is the kalima of Allah. The word of Allah is on your heart. It's in your soul. It's what's writing the book. But it's writing the book off of what Allah inscribed to us. Allah said he gave us free will to exercise. Free will. He even gave respite to those that haven't touched it yet. Now, I know they say Zalimun, but Zalimun, I don't see Zuliman. It's darkness. So it's the one that started off in ignorance. Now you got the one that started off in intelligence, but this stage of person was the one that started off in ignorance, not knowing nothing. The earth was void. To an ignorant person, the earth is void. It's like the illustration Allah said about the donkey being in the heart of a library with a whole bunch of books. He don't know what's on his back. He don't have the ability to go back and look at those books and read them. But he said that's the illustration of the human being. That when he chooses ignorance instead of getting enlightenment from Allah, he like being in that hall, this big old world, or being in the book of his soul, the library of his soul. Because see, you can be in the library of your soul, and you're not blessed to understand. Even though you got eyes, Allah said you'll be raised up blind. I don't understand. It's gone. The shaitan come and take it away. And so he say, by the book that make things clear, we have made it a Quran in Arabic that you may be able to understand and learn wisdom. And verily it is in the mother of book, in our presence, high in dignity, full of wisdom. So here's the mother of the book. Now, we know in a womb, but these are all the connections. And we were saying about that dimension, that round table with all the faiths, that tawheed, that unity. So the universe is showing how everything come together and work. So what did Allah say? He said, do you come together willingly or unwillingly? And the earth's response was, we come together willingly. So the sun's still doing what the sun doing. The moon's still doing what the moon doing. It's in the celestial kingdom, but it's not getting out of its orbit. Because it's doing it by the will of Allah. Allahu Akbar. But we should be like to emulate that nature where it don't move you no matter what circumstance happen. I'm not moved. I'm still doing my job. I'm still on my duty. So in Ramadan, we're still on our duty. We're exercising those orbits. We're exercising those planets that's going around in orbit that never change, never altered. We're doing that. We're saying that the will is stronger than the passion. My will to be obedient to God is stronger than my passions. Now, my passions is a demigod in this life. Let me say it again. My passions is a demigod in this life. You think I'm lying? Look at the man that gets on heroin. He runs on the highway with cars going 60 miles an hour. He clocking at a 30. But he's not conscious of it. But he goes. The one he's on coke or cocaine, his brain dopamine's going crazy. He's been shot up. Adrenaline pumping. He's steady going. But he feel like, I'm a god. Then you got people that are working on medicine to make you operate 100% of the brain. I want to be a god. So it's his passions. His passions. But what we do, we put those passions in check. Those passions are put in check. That belt around that universal spirit, that's a passion that's put in check. The same way what we do with our hands. We putting our nature in check, and we come into Allah whole and come into Allah correct. And we essentially, I want to come to you correct. I don't want to come to you halfway. I want to come to you correct. So I want to go to Allah wholeheartedly with nothing, holding nothing back. I want to go to him wholeheartedly, no matter what. And I tell all, no matter what your struggle is, what you rising up, what you in, whatever, it still don't stop you. It still won't prevent you from going and repenting and getting forgiveness and mercy from Allah. It still won't stop you. So the Quran is a life spectrum of the universe, and the universe is a revelation of the Quran. Now, what is the fitra? It says the fitra is the original nature. Right? It's the creation. It's everything before it's been changed over. So if I want to describe a fitra, I say tree. But if I want to say the fajura, I would say table. If I want to say tree, I'm going to put that, connect that to fitra. But if I want to say fajura, I'm going to say the table. Because it dawned out of the tree. It was the intelligence that came, the universe showed it. So Allah say, look at man, when he looked at the plasm, the protoplasm that's inside of that photosynthesis of their leaf and their plant. It has the potential to start a fire. Not only a physical fire, but it also has the potential to give you electrolytes, antioxidants. There's light. So Allah say the heavens is lit up with nur. And he gives a description. He said the whole earth and even the human being will be lit with nur. He'll be lit with light. Yes, that's future tense, but it's present tense also. It's present tense in the progress of history. In the progress of history, a lot of things that we started off doing got us by, but until we got that progress, which is that clean glass of water, we started introducing the best things. We started coming out with the best things. We started learning about fossil fuels. We started learning about protons and neurons, but how did we first find it? First, that was gaibi. Cells is gaibi. Atoms is gaibi. You can't see it. So what did Allah do? He gave us the hikmah to go into creation and produce a telescope. Right? He showed us the wisdom of ultraviolet light. They can go and see the light inside of the womb of the woman and see the baby going through its progress. Those weaning months, as Allah described. Right? So the universe is given a revelation of the Quran. All right, the Quran is a life spectrum of the universe. So what did Allah say? He said that we just found this out too. He said everything that's in the universe is housed in what? The human being. Everything. All right, Yogi Bear Park, our national park, the parks there, the glaciers. Now, in the algae, we found out that even in the universe, the planets, the algae is the same thing. It got everything that's in the universe in space in that algae right there in those glaciers. But Allah gave that to us. We figured it out. We found out. So he gave us so much light. And he gave us the light of one thing that's universal. The Ramadan. Ramadan, it helps us separate what can get out of control. Passions can get out of control. It can. So the passion's got to be put in check. And you do it. You probably don't know you consciously doing it, but you do it. When you get to a certain extent in your funds, you put that what? Passion in check. Even in the midst of my intimacy. Even though I can get into an argument or get into a situation where it brings me out and the shaitan can influence me. He can influence my mind, and I accept it, and I can go to something that'll break the intimacy of my wife. I can go out and be an adulterer. Fornicator, right? So Allah helped me put that in control. But what's the science of it? Allah showed, he said that opens up. Adultery opens up avenues for diseases. Multitudes of sin. So look at the things that happen. Look at the sexual transmitted diseases that come about. But look at the science. Allah got us to go in there and look at that. So what is that? That's the science of my moral nature. That's a universe. But it's a universe that it's uncharted. Allah said, it's the science in the soul for you to believe. But look at that human being during that time. They out there in the desert. They hear the prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him. They don't know what the soul is. So Allah say, those generations that's coming after, inshallah, will know it better. And we saying the same thing for the ones that come after us. They will know it better, inshallah. But that's the mercy of Allah. Allah giving us a universal understanding. He pulling things out of, he's showing us that this is not something spooked out. This is not something that Stan Lee brought out. This is not Marvel. This is something that's reality. This is already with a hock in it. This is the reality. So this is something you can go out in the creation and see. And you can see it in its harmony. You know, rhythm and recitation is the same. Rhythm and recitation is the same. Ar-Rahman al-Quran. That's rhythm. And it's recitation, but it's showing the harmony that's in life. Because remember, revelation is only illuminating what's in the creation. So when it gives it out, it's giving the expression that is harmonized. It says, look at the creation. Look at the life. We just got through reading the Surah Al-Mulk. And Allah said, do you see any flaw? Is there any error in what you see in the creation? Everything is in harmony. There's falsehood, but there's also truth. There's wrong, but there's also right. There's darkness, but there's also light. So everything has its mate, the meat, and to bring everything into a clear picture where we're able to see it. And it's what Ramadan does for us. Once we put that nature in check, we're able to get a clear picture of our life in a whole. That is the eternal happiness. Eternal happiness. Because once you know, it's like this gospel song I used to hear. If you want to know about why I'm happy and why I'm joyous, look at my road I just came out. You know, it's like when you get to Jannah, you make it to Jannah, and you say, man, look at my record. Look at my book. Look at the things I've done. But if it was done in shame, I don't want to show it. I'm trying to and blend in with the crowd. But this is something I can do that I don't even have to be ashamed of. Allah said, I'm going to raise you up in your nature. Pause for a short time. Allah. Allah. Assalamu alaikum. Oh Allah, grant us good in this life and good in the hereafter, and have mercy on us and protect us from the evil schemes of the shaitan. Ameen. I bear witness there's no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I'm bearing witness that in the human being, not no demigod, in the human being is opportunity for him to follow the will of Allah. And we're on a big world stage right now. And everybody's saying, because this is a chance that Shaitan feel that we can't do this. This is a hard task. And I said, yeah, it's hard to the one that perception is not right. Right? Parable of the parrot. You probably heard there's a parrot on the rope. The parrot don't know. All they got to do is open his paws to get out the rope. But his perception is telling him that he's trapped. Right? Same way in life. If the angel Gabriel would have stayed with what he seen at first, he said when he seen the creation that was influenced by the Shaitan, he said, how can one go right? Now think about that. It was his perception. It was the message, because he bring the message of light. So the message kept him in the dark. If he stayed with that, he can't see light, because he's stuck in the dark. All he can see is wrong. You ever notice during this month, Allah said, if you overlook the faults of others, think about that. How Allah will be merciful to you in this month and the months after that. If you overlook, but it's the same thing in what he's seeing in the believer when he's striving. His shortcomings, his upcoming. Allah know this already. Oh, I seen him do this, I seen him do that. Allah see that already. But Allah say even in that error is an opportunity for correction. And he gives us a perception. He says, I birth you out of struggle. I birth you out of that same struggle. So that parent, his perception, I can't let go of this rope. That one that's being threatened with poverty, see the fear of poverty by the Shaitan, his perception can't get him out of there. It say he's in a paralysis analysis. The way he look at things is paralyzing him. So in this one, Allah gives us a perception. He says that the doors of heaven are open and the doors of hell are chained up and closed. The Shaitan can't affect you. But the illustration is that everything that you strive for and good is rewarded to you. So you have an opportunity to free yourself, to free your own soul that's been chained up. Chained up in what? Mysticism, demigods, anything, material passions. Allah give you that key to open that soul from that which had it bound in. Now, that merchant of wickedness can't get you no more. He can't suggest to sell to you that those like I said, we want to go to what the other kings have. But Allah said, I'm giving you things coming straight from heaven, life from heaven. And one of the descriptions they use, they say a lamp in heaven. Surah Furqan 25 and 61. This is a blessed time. And if you knew how valuable time is very valuable. And when you're conscious of your time and know what you can do in the time, look at the quadruple of quality you pull out just in a prayer, doing your prayer in time, right? Look at all the things you get for just doing that. Look at the things you get in just doing a good word. Allah say a good word is better than charity. Think giving money, a good word to a person, because a person can be in a paralysis analysis. They can be locked up in their own perception in hell. That's their hell in this life. 25:61. Allah say, blessed is he who made the constellations in the skies and placed therein a lamp. وَجَعَلُوا فِيهَا سِرَاجًا وَالْقَمَرَ مُبَارًا. Now, you ever heard the word Mubashara? You hear the word Mubashara or Bashara, the human being, a human being? All right, but it says the moon giving light. Right? So what is the moon giving light? It's the mind. When knowledge comes to the mind, it illuminates that light, that word. It illuminates it. So it do just like what the Quran said. The Quran is a life spectrum of the universe, and the universe is a revelation of the Quran. So what that does, that light comes to that mind, Their mind is illuminated. That's why when it comes to going to etymology, you see in moon, you see the word man. Because of his mind, his intelligence. But look what Allah given us. Allah said, this shows you the things that are above your head that seem esoteric or far out. I'm bringing it close to you. I'm bringing these fruits to you close. So these are concepts that's not only in a process, but you can also see the progress of it. Allah say, look at the signs of their face. If you ever seen the beginner when he start off in Islam, and then when you see him in the middle stage of it, when he come to that half moon, because that moon starts off is incomplete, like the human being, the sperm. He incomplete. And then he come to a whole. He come to a whole full moon. And you see that human being when he comes in, he starts off, he don't even know the language. Language unfamiliar. Don't even know it. But then the more he's in there, that womb, and he hears that logic going to those ears, that divine and steady influencing, then those words start to become concrete. That's what Allah says, it becomes mukda adama. It becomes blood, but the blood becoming flesh and bone. Because what? It got solid truth. Once the soul is able to get solid truth, when it knows, it's going in it. It's like that person, man, I know this going to work. I'm not sending y'all off in the blind. I know this going to work. This how I'm going to give you every detail. And Allah says the detail is in the universe. Just look at how successful it is doing. Nothing is out of order. Not even death. Death is in the right spot where it's supposed to be at. And it's mental, physical, and spiritual. This is not only a day of burning off, but this is a day that those things that didn't support us got to die off. It got to go. We still growing. Our soul is a baby. Our physical nature started off as a baby. We teenagers, adults now. But our soul is a baby, and it got to be nurtured into full development. And once it's into full development, Allah gives the illustration of a vine that's standing on its own stem. It's able to stand on its own stem, and from his intelligence that Allah gave him, he's able to chart out his own furqan, his own criterion. And he don't have to be, he don't even got to second guess it. He know it's right. I know it's right. It's like Hadi Kusa, Allah say, when you so sincere that my hands become your hands. I'm not saying we can have God's hand, but he was just giving us an illustration of how close. But it's the same in the Quran. Allah said, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. We was looking externally. We was looking out in the universe trying to find Allah. Allah said, I'm the very Kalima. I'm the very Kalima in your school of body. And I said school of body for a reason. Because your soul is a school. And they have a life lesson. A lifetime lesson. And when we get to the end, isn't it something when you watch your elders and they say, I done had enough. I'm at peace. I'm ready to go meet my maker. They know I done reached my time. I'm about to reach my graduation. It's time to go. It's time to go back to Allah. Right? So, but life gives them the lesson. And they learn. And what the person that's left, Prophet Muhammad said, people say, we supposed to learn from the one that passed. And recognize that we got an opportunity to change. If the person that was in a situation where you haven't changed, now you got the opportunity to change. Where the person that sacrificed his life for me before, now I got the opportunity to change. Bilal sacrificed his life. The Sahaba sacrificed their life for us to have this. Now I got a change. I got a chance to change. I got a chance to do better. Right? So Allah say this is the best brought up out of all people. Out of all thin walls of life, he said, I brought these people up. These band of people. Those that are submitting their will to God. Consciously. You know, they even if they was told, I wouldn't give it up. Even if, what the prophet said, if you put the moon in my right, the sun in my left, you give me everything, I will not give up the words of Allah. Allahu Akbar. In closing, this time that we coming in, we're getting in our first 10 days. This opportunity of mercy. is for us to illustrate the people. Somebody needs something. Whether it's their yard cut, good advice, something. Somebody needs something. So it's opportunity. It's opportunity for us to give the best. And what's the best to give? The best thing. It ain't even, you ain't got to give that much. Allah gonna get an increase, but just giving the best. And sometimes it's just being your character, your light, your son being right there in that darkness where he at. Your son being right there. I want to put my light right there. So hopefully, inshallah, after those 365 days, well, it might be 30 days, you might wake me up. That's a blessing. Allah says all you need is one. All you need is one. I don't need 100. All I need is one. If I get that one, I got the whole. Like the percent. The percent is called a whole. It's 100. I got the whole. So Ramadan, and we strive, and we to complete that Ramadan, we getting the whole. We getting the whole aspect out of life. Not the half. We getting the whole aspect out of life, and we seeing what Ibrahim alayhi salam asked Allah. Show me how the dead is raised. And where did Allah place him? Show him. Where did Allah turn him? To that universal spectrum. I'm going to show you in nature. I'm going to show you in nature. Now we can look at the chopping the birds and placing them on the hilltops, but that's a part of nature. Allah said, I'm going to show you nature goes through the same course. But look at the life it leaves. The blade of grass, the animal, the reproduction nature, life, that living organism. And he gave us the word. He said, my nature goes beyond that. It'll exhaust the oceans and the trees. You can't use nothing to exhaust my word. So Allah is infinite. Relate, the more you get close with him, the more sincere you get with him, his information is infinite. His guidance is infinite. But then I want the one that done went out there before me. It's I've been out there and gave the estimations and calculations. And we used to have this thing that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. It's supreme. Because that's what Allah is as is. He's the great. There's nothing greater than Allah. Nothing. That's why Allah said the greatest thing that you can hold on, to have a grip on in life. So you want to have a grip. Whether you're holding on to that rope, but you want something to have a grip. And they tell you to hold on to that rope and get that grip on that rope, but that rope is that Quran. That's your rope. You want to gird it around like that copper. I want to have it in check. You know, and don't think they did that for nothing. It's all illustrations of how we put our nature in check every time, whenever Allah calls on us. Whether we dead or alive. You'll see the dead person come alive. Allah called him. Called him, come. Brother been sitting out there. Look at the lifestyle of scholars. The scholars. A lot of the Sahabas them was drunk, was wine, them been through. But Allah brought the best out of them. And they impact worlds, impact time. So nothing can stop you or hinder you from the blessings of Allah. When it's time for you to come up and Allah ready for you to do the duty, He gonna wake you up and you're gonna automatically go straight to it. But why is you speaking, hands? Why are you feet? Because Allah gave me speech. And Ramadan is giving us speech. He giving us a word, a heavy word. In closing, I hope all is well. I hope you continue to have a blessed Ramadan. Get into the reading more and really get into the Arabic. Get into that Arabic. Learning that Arabic in the Quran, the Fushad, learning that. And learning the rhythm and recitation. Because there's a rhythm in life, but there's also a rhythm in revelation. And that's obedience, that's ibadah. I leave you as I came. Assalamu alaikum. Takbir. Takbir. Takbir.